Made me jump there. Dan here for 6... Oh, damn. Dan here for 6...
We got 20 minutes out of this.
We've got 20 minutes of just this.
Okay.
Dan here for Six Towns Radio. I'm joined by Chris Cox and Ben Hart,
Hello.
who are touring with Impossible the Show, and it's currently here in Hanley at the Regent Theatre. Thanks very much for joining me.
Thanks for having
You're
us.
welcome. We're contractually obliged.
You are contractually obliged, so thanks for signing the contract.
Hey,
I guess that's what it is. First question, which I guess you get all the time: what got you into magic? Why magic?
So my path is, I know it's different to Ben's in that I was maybe 10 or 11, and I got a letter in the post which was delivered by an owl. And then 6 years at Hogwarts and official mind reader.
Who was your favourite teacher at Hogwarts?
You know what? I was a fan of Snape.
Snape?
Yeah, although everyone didn't like him, he had a nice little backstory, which meant he was actually a very good guy. Spoiler alert.
Very much a spoiler.
You liked the way he was stern with you.
I did, yeah, that potions class. 4.
That just got weird. Ben, how did you get into magic?
I've been doing magic since I was a tiny kid. I actually can't really remember not doing it, which is such a boring answer, isn't it?
No, it's not.
I can't remember not doing it. I know that at some point my brother got a magic set and I was jealous that he had a magic set. I remember at some point I was at a kid's birthday party, it must have been like 6 or something, and the clown magician invited me up on stage, and the kid sitting next to me said, "Don't invite Ben up, he's already a magician."
Oh.
So I punched them. Broke their neck. No, so I've been doing it for as long as I can remember. And it's the only job I've ever had. I'm totally unemployable.
You can't call this a job.
I've got no qualification.
Do you get paid for it?
We do get paid for
It's a
it,
job.
but we can't
It's
call it a job.
It's a cool job.
Yeah, it's alright.
This isn't a job.
That's
I just
true.
talk. That's not a job. You actually do something quite entertaining.
I mainly just talk.
You really
But
just
that's good stuff.
So your styles of magic differ slightly. Chris, over to you first. Just can you describe what kind of stuff you do on
So
stage?
the pithy way of describing it is I'm a mind reader who can't read minds.
Okay.
So the same as every other mind reader, just more honest. And I use all sorts of techniques to make people think that I know what they're thinking. So but basically sort of trying to do entertaining and silly and fun mind reading. That's sort of a shtick.
Yeah. And Ben, what about yourself?
What's the question?
What
I got lost.
your styles of magic?
Oh, my
differ very
style
slightly.
of
What's
magic.
your
Yeah.
style?
I'm
What would you
just a GP at magic. I just do a bit of everything. Just jack of all trades, master of none.
Do you have a favourite trick that you do during the show?
During this show, I do a trick during this show which closes Act 1 of the show, which is quite a big trick. And for me, in fact, the one style I haven't done previously is large, big magic tricks. So that's been really fun for me to do, to sort of exorcise that demon inside of me, the big glitzy magician inside of me, sort of.
He is very glitzy magician as well.
Do you think?
I think it's very different from when you're out when you're on stage at the beginning of the act. It's very dark and mysterious, whereas the final of Act 1 it's very big, like, it's dramatic and it is glitzy, and I liked the change.
I love doing it. That's my.
Because you scared me at first when you came on stage, very dark and mysterious. I was like, I'm just gonna hide in my chair in case he comes close by. That's kind of. I do it with every magician. It's no offense to you. It's just I'm scared of magic.
I do it with people who aren't magicians.
Fair enough. Just do it with people in general.
Oh God, they're coming near me. Please don't look at me.
With mind reading,
Yeah.
do you ever get scared? Not that what people are thinking. Not that's what we think. But do you ever kind of go, this is going a way which I don't want it to, and try and.
Yeah, sometimes. Sort of. I like to think I'm alright at what I do now, so I can cover. It's sort of. It's kind of a bit like that. Sort of the analogy, I suppose, is a bit like walking a tightrope. In that I know in theory I should be able to get to the end, but every night it's different, and there's always variables, and you never quite know whether it's going to work the way you want it to go. But I suppose my job is to make sure that every night I get a good response, and I get the audience on side, and they get amazed, and they laugh, and they sort of. Every now and again there'll be a thing will happen. I'll be like, oh, I was not expecting that. But it's all quite heavily controlled in the show. My whole show is designed around getting people in the right frame of mind. So it's sort of, it's not scary. It's weird in that, like, last night we did a show and we'd had a week off.
Yeah.
And I was standing in the wings about to go, and I was like, oh, I hope I can remember this.
Yeah.
That sort of was the scary bit. And you go, oh yeah, you start beginning, you get to the end. So that's sort of where the fear sometimes lies.
Do you ever?
So can I just say that was nothing like walking a tightrope.
No, it really wasn't.
As analogies go.
Yeah, but I suppose the danger is you could fall off and I could not be able to read someone's mind. Would that make it a tightrope?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, a very loose tightrope. Imagine a tightrope and ignore that completely. And that's what I do.
You stood next to the tightrope going, I wouldn't want to be up there. That's what's happening. That's what's happening.
That is what Chris would be doing.
Yeah, I'm not going to go up there.
No one's doing a risk assessment for me to do it.
You mentioned, obviously, you might not be able to read minds or something going wrong. Has anything ever gone wrong during the show? Or, how do you recover from that?
So something goes wrong in the show almost every night, because that's just the nature of what we're doing is live entertainment. Of course,
that's
the
exciting
audience
as well, isn't it?
That's why we can go out and do what appears to the audience to be the same show every night. The truth is, it's never the same show, but the audience, you guys, don't know what we're aiming for. So, and the mistakes, admittedly, will be very minor, but things don't go right every night, I think.
Every show's different because we use different audience members and how they respond is different, and they could be that. Something might go wrong and you'll never know because we'll go, they won't notice that if I do this instead. Or it could be, in a big show like this, there's big and it's a technically demanding show, so stuff could go wrong which has nothing to do with us. The set could stop moving, one of the lights could not work. Those sorts of things sometimes happen and we basically sort of tap dance around it.
The audience never really knows. It's like if you watch a musician, for example, there'll be songs which are locked in, which will always be the same, and there'll be other bits where there are little gaps where they can do improvisation and they can do like a guitar solo or whatever. But it's the same when you make a magic show. There are bits which we know are never going to go wrong, and there are bits where it's fun for us to take the risk, and it's pays off. The audience sees a more engaging, and we're more present as performers as a result of it.
Yeah, I think they get to realise that we are thinking on our feet, doing something. They know that when someone says something to us, we are just thinking of something to say.
Yeah, very much.
Particularly in Chris's work.
I was going to say, particularly in, because you do speak to the audience.
Yeah.
And last night, for instance, there was somebody who was being a bit arsey.
Yes.
And everybody else around us thought, she's being arsey, what's the point of this?
Yeah.
And you mentioned it, and we were like, oh, thank God he's mentioned
that.
I
literally read everyone's mind.
Yeah, you get everybody together, you went, there you go, guys.
Great trick of the show.
Done, sorted. Do you ever encounter a lot of that, or is it very minimal?
No, it's quite minimal. People are people, and that's why they're amazing, and that's an awful statement, but in sort of how they respond is the joy of doing it for me. Every night is different, and how they respond, and some people are responding one way, some people are responding another. Their quirks are the things that I enjoy discovering. Yeah. And in that instance, she wasn't being that arsey, she was just sort of trying to make it a bit more of a challenge for me, which is fun, because then I can make it more impressive when it's more of a challenge. But yeah, there are moments, there's certainly, with a show like this, there are lines that come into my head, and I know Ben probably has the same, where you just go, yep, can't do that line, can't do that line, can't do that, that'll be fine.
Filter everything before it actually comes out. One last thing, you go quite close to the audience, in fact, you sit right next to them, pretty much on their knees during performance.
And sometimes literally on their knees.
Yeah, sometimes literally. Do you ever get nervous being that close, with it being such close-up magic? Or is it just, again, an extension of the art?
That is the bit that I enjoy doing in the show the most. I do a piece where I sit in amongst the audience with a video camera and do a piece of close-up magic. And I improvise a lot around that theme. And do I get nervous doing it? No. It's the most easy bit for me. I get nervous about the fact that because we're putting a video camera on this small number of people, I get nervous that they might be nervous.
Yeah.
I'm never nervous myself. And the truth is that one piece in the show, which lasts about 5 minutes in the show, it takes up the majority of my evening, because I go in disguise and I go looking for people who I think are not going to be nervous, and I do it around those people who are not going to be nervous. So it takes up, before the show I have a little look, during the interval I have a look, and just before that piece. So it takes me like an hour a night to do this 1 5-minute piece, only because I'm worried about the audience being nervous. They've got to be on side, but it's fun.
In disguise, what do you reckon he would?
I saw you, and it's straight away. I'm not like when you said in disguise, I went,
you just stick a coat on.
It was a hat and a coat, and I went, oh, you're sure it's a magician? And I had a program, and I was like, it's him. That is definitely him. That's it.
I put on this cap, and I put on this jacket.
You're ruining the disguise.
And it looks like I should be taking somebody's order at a fast food restaurant.
You do have an earpiece.
Yeah,
you have a bit of security one, like a security, as if you're going. Yeah, of course I'll go get that popcorn. That's fine.
Okay, fine. I'm going to work on that. I need a stick-on moustache
And
and
glasses, fake
a
nose as
newspaper
well.
with holes in.
I'm going to come at the end of the week and I want you to have like a full-on Mexican moustache, a sombrero, just kind of going, I'm completely normal. I'm here to watch the show.
You need to go full Eddie Murphy and play every character. You're the usher, the boxer, everyone's like, it's this guy again.
Every member of the audience.
It is, I have to
is
say,
Ben.
it's funny because the disguise I wear makes me look like one of our impossible crew. And every night, of course, people come up to me and ask where their seats are. Excuse me, where's the seat? Can you point me to the toilets? And if we've just come into a theatre, I don't know where the seats are because every theatre's
You barely know where the stage is.
Yeah, but exactly. So I'm like, I'm really sorry, I just don't know the answers to that. And they think, who's this weird guy? And then, literally 5 seconds later, I walk through the little door backstage, take off the coat and walk straight on stage. Is he the guy who asked where the toilets were?
This is a person who doesn't know stories. Thanks very much for joining me.
You're welcome.
Can you just sum up very quickly why people should come and watch Impossible, either in Stoke or elsewhere on the tour?
Yeah, which
Ben
could
first.
be Edinburgh or Manchester. We're going to.
Or other dates which will be available soon.
Yeah. Check the Impossible website for more details.
ImpossibleLive.com.
I mean, you haven't quite summed it up, you've just plugged
okay,
where you're going.
There is no better way to see magic.
Follow us on Twitter @ImpossibleLive.
Your Impossible Show?
It's
Really?
Impossible
What's
Show.
our Twitter? @Impossible
At
Show.
Impossible.
@Impossible Show.
I mean, that's seamless.
Sorry.
Seamless.
Sorry.
Go to watch Impossible, it's in Hanley till
So
Saturday.
it's
You can get
amazing. It's
tickets.
like big budget magic. There's no better way to see magic than
History of
live
magic
and
as
in
well.
front of you. You can see it on TV and go, oh, I wonder if it's camera tricks. When you see it in front of your face in a massive style with big production values, you will go out going, oh my God!
I can confirm that's
Like
exactly what you like. Get tickets from ATG tickets, atg.com/Stoke. I think that's right. Em's giving me the thumbs up. And go and follow these guys on Twitter as well. I'll put their Twitter in the links below.